Got statistics. Hey, good morning. We're back live here in the Glass Houses studio, and we're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about me losing as a county commissioner, and I want to talk about people joining the Republican Party, and I want to talk about join the winning team, and I want to talk about our shortcomings in Shawnee County, and voter apathy. I think that we really need to rally the troops out there. As far as a candidate goes, and I think I counted too much on Donald J. Trump to help me. And you know, uh, uh, he is not the best thing since white sliced bread. But I'm telling you something. Well, see, white sliced bread's not good for you anyway. But um, Trump's Trump. He's a deal maker. He's a businessman. He's done. He's done well. You can say, well, he went bankrupt here. He did this. Well, it was all legal. He didn't break any laws. He did not break any laws. And this whole thing about weaponized justice system, and I tell you, I just think that everything that Trump got impeached for is what Biden was doing. And so look, I know a lot of nice friends that are Democrats, and we need to get them to like AA meetings. We got, it's just like, hey, you need some help. But how could you be for? So how? So tell me, why would I want to become a Democrat today? If you remember All in the Family and a guy named Archie Bunker, Archie Bunker today would be a Republican. JFK today would be a Republican. And it's it's not about there's good and bad people. I'm not a fan of Mitch McConnell. The guy should go home. Uh, I'm not a fan of there's some others, but overall, what Trump is doing to regenerate. Now tell me, how do you sign in a contract that says 45,000 people don't have to come to work for 5 years? That's bullshit. That's the problem with government. I mean, today, I ran into Jerry Moran the other day, and he's talking uh, about how many people work from home and the ineffectiveness. Today, that is like the worst thing going on for guys that own buildings downtown or operate businesses downtown. Government employees got to come back to work. You got to be a part of the system, whether you like it or not. Hey, yeah, if you want to work from home or have an office at home, get into private enterprise. But today, you got to show up and be a team, part of the workforce. That's what I say. The businesses that are down there today or the guys that own, you know, um, you can give Jimbo shit about Lawrence Bay, but there's not a market for him today to renovate his buildings downtown. It's just not. And I've been telling, Henry McClure has been telling the all those that don't listen, the ruling elite, that retail development is the future. Because that's what I know. It's what I recommend. It's like all my Dr. Gundry stuff. Well, it works for me. At age 65, I don't have to take a pill. I'm relatively healthy. So, maybe there's something to this Dr. Gundry stuff that I talk about. And and maybe you got to have some self-discipline with the way you live. But you got to tell me today, what is it about? How do you recruit? I mean, a very smart man, good friend of mine, said that he was going to be going to an internment camp once Trump was elected. That shit ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But and you got to stand up and take a stand. It's like hey doctor, it hurts when I do that. Well, don't do that. But seriously, what would be the allure today to joining the Democratic Party? And quite frankly, what would be the allure today to join the Republican Party? Well, I grew up in a Republican family. You're born perfect. You kind of become a Republican. I became a Republican because my parents were Republicans, and to me, I thought it was all about smaller government and more choices, make it easier, a more friendly business environment. And but come on, you got to tell me this. Oh man, somebody that I really like and respect. She's on Facebook. This Arwen Becker. She started this thing XXXO, and it's a clothing line or anyway, it's a new business, uh, fitness. You know, who would support having women in men's sport? Who who appoints a Supreme Court person that can't say what a woman is? And then how do you justify it? How do you really want to back all that up? Is that the club you want to belong with? Well, wait a minute. This club over here wants you can wear a dress and you can identify as a apple, uh, but you're not an apple. You're a man. Oh, you want to play in women's sport? No. And this Pete Hegseth, I kind of like what he says about women shouldn't be um, in the furthest fronts of killing it. And maybe you just and this guy was telling me no, women are better killers. Well, that may very well be, but then maybe you should just have a squad of women go out, you know. But he says, like in the foxhole, it creates all sorts of different issues with men and women, because we're all human. You get the drift. But I was happy to see Kash Patel get in, because I don't believe the border guy, the Homeland Security guy. These are a bunch of little weasels. Um, if Brian Hill, our sheriff, who went down to the border, says you'd probably be better off, carrying a firearm. Well, wait a second here. Forget him for a minute. The KBI, the KBI doesn't feel safe down just down the street. The KBI director doesn't feel safe by the expo center and the hotel. There's something wrong. Hey, hey, big shots that make all the deals. Uh, KBI ought to buy the AT&T building downtown. It's only $8 million. It's for sale today. Call Mike Morris or call Ed Eller. You'll get a better answer from Ed. He's the managing broker. Well, at least uh, he used to when he'd call me back. But if you need some more room, Todd Conkle will. I bet $1 he'll sell you the Capital Journal. So we don't need to go out and spend $120 million of bullshit. We got to stop. We got to stop this spending. We got to stop spending money we don't have. So Brian Kemp now is looking at Kansas. Kansas is in play as far as the next 2 years in the governor. Jeff Carr says that he had a couple of good names, but I'd like Jeff to run for mayor. Or for governor, the mayor of Kansas. But I got to know Jeff, and I'm sure that I am sure that I am sure that Derek Schmidt, who is a prince of a guy, is going to do a great job in Congress. I really like that guy. That was one of the most fun things about running for county commissioner was getting all the new people I got to know about. The worst thing about running for county commissioner was it was talking to the voters that are so disjointed from the elected officials. That was the hardest thing. And if you're really going to listen to those people, and the distance between the voter and the politician and then the ruling elite, it is way disjointed. Uh, and it's a light year difference. Like from here to the moon is the difference between the elected official and the ruling elite. No, let's do some planetary analogies. So the distance between the voters and the the voters and the elected officials is from Earth to the moon, and the elected officials are out here on the moon, and then go out to the sun, and that's where the ruling elite are. All the sun, they got all the sunshine out there. Sunshine's on their back all the time, and I'm telling you, there's nothing more. There's no difference in the ruling elite and the deep state in the universe. That's the best analogy I can come up with. So, and it's out there, man. This stuff's real. Yeah, call me crazy, but the truth sometimes sounds crazy. So, in the election in Shawnee County, Donald Trump lost Shawnee County by 407 votes. And I lost to Kevin Cook by 1,600 votes. I got 9,433 people to vote for me, and Cook had 11,033. Oh, look at this. We got some hydrogen water. So from the losers, we learn more from our mistakes. And I'm telling you, if you're going to run for office, only talk to us losers, because the people that don't put their name on the ballot, they don't know squat. They don't know diddly squat about what it's really like. You put your name on the ballot, the whole thing changes. Now, I might have spent too much time seeing how dysfunctional the county commission was, but boy, I got a belly full of that. The county commissioners, they never disagree with each other because it's already decided before they go into the meeting. And I know that for a fact, Jack. Then going to talk to the voters door to door, oh man, that is painful. As an alcoholic, going to an AA meeting for me, it's like going to the emergency room to see who's coming in and out, because they're sick people. It's so tough to get over alcoholism. But I think it's the same thing with becoming, we got to have recovery for our friends that are in the wrong party. And we've got to be able to attract people of another party, and we need to, number one, we got to learn to work with them, but we've got to figure out how to get them over to our side. I mean, for us, we all think it's easy. You know, we have good morals. We go to church. You know, we think Alvin Bragg's a weenie. You know, this guy, what he's doing to that guy that say, imagine being on a subway watching another guy threaten everybody and being unstable, and then nobody helping. I mean, if they don't, there better be a hung jury, but they ought to acquit this guy. It is Alvin Bragg is such a bad person, and look what he did to the Don. I mean, this guy, it's bad. It's bad. So we got to figure out how to grow people in the Republican Party today. Uh, and I've had some friends come forward and say they already want to run for office. And yeah, meet the other Republicans. But if you don't get a warm welcome, just keep going. But we've got to change how we do things. And I think that I mean I did what I could. My Whataburger closing was like 4 months behind, and I needed to get that commission to fund my campaign because I really wasn't out there raising money. And then Cook, he's got people from the Greater Topeka Partnership. I mean, friends of mine that are part of that clique are getting emails, 10, 15 emails, why it's so important to get Cook in there. And what the hell has Cook ever done? So now let's hang. He wants to take credit for the expo center. Well, dude, then make it work. So we're going to hang that expo center around that neck. And you know something? I really didn't appreciate Chuck Lauer. Fuck you. Um, um, Seriously, stop with the bullshit. No, I'm not. This isn't bullshit, man. You've got you're part of the ruling elite up there, Mister Lauer, and why try to stifle somebody wanting to change things? But that's what you want to do. That's what you guys want to do. Some of you guys, not you guys, but you guys. You know what I mean. But and there isn't anybody that knows change more than me. And I'm telling you something. There isn't anybody that's seen between me and Cook, especially. I've lived in 11 different towns working for the Macerich Company and others. And man, I had a great run. And it's worked a lot better in other towns. So we got to do things differently. It's no different from the first show that I made today where Dr. Gundry tries to get you to start eating right. Well, you got to start feeding yourself better politics. Uh, there's too much. There's too much bad politics. There's too much fake news. That's why the Henry McClure live shows out there bringing you guys the real story. Now that I've got this off my chest, I feel better. So Kemp is now turning his focus on Kansas. It's time to retire Laura Kelly. Now, let me tell you something. I know Laura Kelly. I don't really have a reason to dislike Laura Kelly. I think if I talk to my friends in the House and the Senate, they could probably come up with a lot of stuff. But I haven't made it my mission to be on uh, knowing every move Laura Kelly makes. But she's a nice lady, as late, just as people go. And the fact that she's a Democrat doesn't make her an evil person. And and I don't mean that. I just think that Republicans standing for we want God back in the schools. Uh, there's two genders. Well, that's a good start. We want smaller government. We want better taxation, more fair taxation. And let's start about that right now. I want to talk to Miss Tilton about this. She's head of taxation. But we need to, when you buy a house or a commercial property, that's the price. And that's the price you're going to pay taxes on until you sell it. That's it. End of story. You can't come up with some sort of phantom value. It's sophistry. It's mental masturbation, trying to uh, format, formulate a value based on if you woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's just no way. You can't do it. And it's created a whole industry of if you woulda, coulda, shoulda. And I don't care what properties are selling in the neighborhood. It doesn't matter. It's great. That's what they're selling. But that doesn't make the value of your property. The value of your property, the only way to do it truly is what someone will buy it for and what someone will sell it for. Once you have that meeting of the minds, that's the market value, and you're going to be taxed on that. But we're taxing people out of their houses. Go run for office, and if you're going to, I don't care if it's 4 years out, run for office and start going door to door. Just get some business cards. I mean, you got to get people. Hey, I got people now. You got to have people. And I was counting too much on Trump people. But I was also counting on people saying, well, you know something? If we don't put somebody else in here, nothing's going to change. Because the three guys that are on the county commission, and the county's an important job, they're not going to change. Zero. And I don't care who's in office. And I don't care if I elect in the future to ever run for an office, run against me. Let's figure it out. Come in. We can come into the studio. We can start talking about it and let the voter decide who's the best guy. You know, hey, at the end of the day, what if I got convinced? Hey, vote for that guy. Hey, and if Marshall Barber is going to run, I'm supporting Marshall Barber today as a Republican. And don't be a rhino. All right, I'm going to go make a living. I'm in the real estate business, and Dr. Gundry isn't paying for me, and I've got to make up for my campaign debt. Oh, but I'm telling you something. It's only begun, if you know what I mean. All right, I'm live at the Glass Houses studio, which is part of the Ryan Mowinkle empire of commercial real estate, home of his State Farm business. Henry McClure live. If nobody's told you they love you this morning, I love you. Thank you.